Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the briefing for Sunday, the 4th of February. Okay, the situation on the chart today is similar to what it has been for the last few days and pretty much similar what we've got the rest of the week. High pressure over the Bay of Biscay, and we're right on the edge between a very warm air mass and relatively cold one. Going back overnight, you see it showing a cold front advancing towards the south. But going ahead to midday today, that's actually turned around and is moving very slowly towards the north. Basically, what we've got is a waving front. It's not really moving, it's just going back and forth very slightly as the air masses fight each other. What we're left with today is the symptoms really of a warm front, or at least warm sector, which means it's relatively warm but very wet and lots of low cloud and some drizzle. Moving further ahead to tomorrow, the front does move further up to the north, although we are left with the warmer, damper air mass, so probably a similar situation tomorrow, hopefully slightly better. You see the isobars tightening up quite a lot, so the wind's going to be quite strong. Moving further ahead to Tuesday, similar picture really, still under this high pressure, still in a very warm, damp air mass, and fronts just to the north of us. Today it was showing quite a strong breeze from the west at flying heights about 35 knots in the Lasham area. And the sat pic, you can see there's quite a lot of cloud really, not a lot to pick out. You can't really make out those fronts. I think the feature itself is very weak, but we are still in that warm sector air mass. Rain radar showing a few little spots, but it's basically drizzle at the moment, which it doesn't pick up. Looking at the rainfall forecast, it is actually picking up some here at the moment. Going through the day, you see it's just staying quite damp and there's not a lot changing. This area of blue here isn't heavy rain, but it's signifying potential drizzle or at least low cloud. Clearing later in the day, about 3 to 4 o'clock by the looks of it. Now, public forecast showing mist and fog this morning, and then some showers into the early afternoon, and then ever so slightly better from about 3 p.m. onwards. Although quite a strong breeze, if we do go flying in the afternoon, you see it's gusting quite high up to about 25, 26 knots from the west. Visibility is showing better in the afternoon, but humidity not really getting below 90% all day. So if it's going to be flyable, it looks like it'll be around 3 to 4 p.m. onwards. And even then, with humidity at about 88, 89%, we're only talking about 1,000 feet of cloud base likely. So it will be just about on the limits with quite a strong breeze, and we might be able to get something out of it. GFS at midday is showing dew points of, temperatures of 11 or 12. Going ahead a little bit to 3 o'clock, it's not changed, 11 or 12 degrees, with dew points slightly lower, about 9 degrees. So again, between 9 and 11 or 12 degrees, we should get about 1,000 feet of cloud base. Currently pretty miserable outside. ODM hasn't, I think, given a forecast because it's the weekend, but Farnborough, they're showing all day broken at 800 feet. It's about 600 feet over Lasham. Becoming ever so slightly better in the morning, and they've put a temporary here for the morning as well for some light drizzle. From 11 a.m. onwards, they are showing potentially wind gusts up to 25 knots, broken clouds at 1,200 feet, which, as I mentioned, is about 1,000 feet above Lasham. So I think that's the best we can get today. Top Meteo, almost more optimistic than the other forecast. This is midday. It is showing low cloud and potentially fog. From about 12 p.m. onwards, it's not actually showing any cloud lower than 1,000 feet, although this general picture isn't brilliant. So about 2 or 3 p.m. now, it's showing drizzle around with relatively low cloud, but not on the deck like it is at the moment. There's no NOTAMs to worry about today. Okay, operation if we go flying, I don't think the ground should be too wet, so we'll set up with the launch point in the normal position. Winch cables running down the southern side of the runway, and all the circuits will be onto the grass as normal. If somebody wants to air a tow, that'll be from the northern side of the runway. Standard winter setup on 27. Okay, if we go flying, we've got the K21-774. We've got 3 K13s now. We've now got S back. Just put that in red as it does need test flying, so chances are we won't have that out today. 2 baby grobs, SH6 and SH8, 3 discuses. couple of ground handling notices. If we can keep towing on the wind check, that's been good so far. Just a few minor comments on that. If you're walking the wing, make an effort to keep the glider pointing towards the buggy, as the wind choke being on the center of gravity won't do that for you. And drivers, if the glider is not pointing towards you, i.e. the buggy, stop and tell them to realign it. Don't keep going if they're not pointing towards you. Please don't sit on the wing roots of the K21s or really any gliders. We've had some damage because of that. And the workshop have also asked if we can emphasize lifting the tail wheel, certainly on the tail heavy gliders when they're being ground handled and turned, as we found SHJ with a flat tire the other day, and it was due to the load on it going around a corner. 737 supposed to arrive at 11:30. Pretty well unlikely. It might be in the afternoon. Chances are it'll be delayed for the next few days, and probably quite a low chance of flying today. So the simulator is serviceable, and we can do bronze tests or any lectures that anybody needs. Okay, there's not really anyone booked in for the morning. If you're booked in for the afternoon, give us a call about midday and we'll see how the weather's looking. As I say, it's a low chance, but if we can get something out of it, we will do, as the next few days aren't looking much better. Okay, see you on the airfield. Bye for now.